The morning light hits the Lakeview penthouse windows at exactly 6:47 a.m. I've been awake since 5, sitting at the kitchen counter with cold coffee in my hands, staring at the box. It's wrapped in ivory satin, tied with a silk ribbon I dyed myself to match the exact shade of champagne roses Cynthia chose for her bouquets. Inside is 6 months of my life. Every stitch, every bead, every hour I spent hunched over my sewing table while the city slept below me. The wedding dress. Not the one she's wearing today. She bought that from some New York designer for $15,000. This one is different. This one was supposed to mean something. I open the box slowly, even though I've checked it a dozen times this week. The lace catches the morning light. French Alençon, the same kind I used for my own wedding dress 45 years ago. The pearls, real ones, not the plastic garbage they sell now, are hand-stitched along the bodice in a pattern that took me 3 weeks to get right. The train pools like liquid silk. My daughter used to say I could make fabric sing. I wonder if she still thinks that. My phone buzzes. Patricia. Bernie, you up? I'm always up, Patty. You nervous? Her voice is careful, the way it's been for months now, ever since I told her about the envelope. Should I be? She doesn't answer right away. Patricia Moore has been my friend since 1982, back when I was running Laura Whitlow out of a studio apartment in Wicker Park with a broken sewing machine and a dream that everyone told me was too big. She knows when I'm lying to myself. Just be careful today, okay? It's a wedding, not a battlefield. With Cynthia, it's always both. I want to argue, but my throat closes. She's not wrong. My daughter has been different these past 2 years. Distant, sharp-edged in ways she never used to be. But I thought maybe, with the wedding, with Troy, with this new chapter. I'll call you after the brunch tomorrow, I say instead. Bernie, I have to go, Patty. Love you. I hang up before she can push harder. The envelope sits next to the dress box. Cream-colored, legal-sized, sealed 3 months ago by my attorney with instructions that it shouldn't be opened until I sign. Inside are documents that will change everything. The Lakeview penthouse, $2.7 million. My 47% stake in Laura Whitlow Holdings, worth $8.2 million at last valuation. The Whitlow Scholarship Fund for Young Designers, $1.5 million set aside for young women who need a chance. All of it, ready to transfer to Cynthia. My wedding gift to her. My legacy, handed down. I haven't signed yet. I plan to do it at tomorrow's brunch, quietly, with Patricia and my attorney as witnesses. I wanted it to be a surprise. I wanted to see her face when she realized that everything I built, everything she's spent her 20s and 30s watching from the sidelines, was always meant to be hers. I close the dress box and check my watch. The car arrives in 45 minutes. Time to get ready for my daughter's wedding. The Sterling Museum looks like something out of a magazine spread. 20-foot ceilings dripping with white roses and orchids, candles everywhere, a string quartet playing something soft and expensive sounding. 200 guests in their best clothes, whispering and smiling and checking their phones for Instagram moments. I arrive early, before most of the guests. The photographer wants family photos, and I'm still technically family, even if it doesn't feel that way anymore. Cynthia is in the bridal suite when I walk in. She's surrounded by 3 makeup artists, 2 hairstylists, and her maid of honor, some girl named Madison who I've met exactly once. The room smells like hairspray and champagne. Mom, Cynthia's voice is flat. Not warm, not cold, just nothing. You look beautiful, sweetheart. And she does. The New York dress fits her perfectly, all clean lines and modern elegance. Her dark hair is swept up in some complicated style that probably cost $500. She looks like the covers of the magazines she's always trying to get featured in. She looks nothing like me. Thanks. She turns back to the mirror. The makeup artist keeps working. Did you bring it? Bring what? The dress you made. She says it like I brought homework she didn't ask for. I assume that's what's in the box? I thought maybe for your second dress change tonight. I already have a second dress, Mom. Valentino. But sure, we can take some photos with yours. For Instagram. The handmade by Mom thing tests well with my older followers. Something in my chest goes cold. Tests well? Brand authenticity. She shrugs. It's all about narrative. I stand there holding the box, feeling like an idiot. The makeup artist and hairstylist exchange glances. Madison suddenly finds her phone very interesting. Right, I manage. Well, I'll leave this here. I set the box on the cream-colored sofa near the window and turn to leave. Mom, I stop. Cynthia looks at me in the mirror, and for just a second, I see something flicker across her face. Something that might be guilt, or regret, or just irritation. Thanks. For the dress. Really. It's the really that guts me, like she's reading from a script. I nod and walk out before anyone can see my face. The ceremony is perfect. Of course it is. Cynthia planned every detail for 8 months with the kind of precision I used to reserve for couture collections. Troy stands at the altar looking nervous and eager, the way grooms are supposed to look. He's a good man, I think. A corporate attorney from a respectable family. His mother is a federal judge. His father runs a philanthropic foundation. They're the kind of people who make Cynthia feel legitimate. The kind of people she thinks I could never be. The vows are traditional. The kiss is tasteful. The string quartet swells. Everyone applauds. I clap too, even though my hands feel numb. 2 hours later, we're at the reception. Dinner is served. Some kind of fish I don't recognize, prepared in a way that probably has a French name. The wine is expensive. The speeches are generic. Troy's best man tells a story about college that gets polite laughs. Madison's maid of honor speech is so rehearsed it sounds like she's reading from a teleprompter. And then the coordinator asks if there are any other toasts. Patricia catches my eye from across the room. She shakes her head slightly. Don't, but I stand anyway. The room quiets. Someone hands me a microphone that feels heavy in my hand. Hi, everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm Bernice Hall, Cynthia's mother. Polite smiles. A few people raise their glasses preemptively. I'm not much of a public speaker, so I'll keep this brief. I just wanted to say, I look at Cynthia, sitting at the head table in her expensive dress, Troy's hand on her knee. I'm so grateful to be here today, to see my daughter marry a good man, to watch her start this new chapter. Cynthia's face is unreadable. I brought something today, something I made for her. I gesture toward the box which I'd placed near my table. Felix, the wedding planner, an old friend who's known me since the early days, brings it to me. I open it slowly. The dress unfolds like a prayer. Even in the dim reception lighting, it glows. The pearls catch every candle. The lace moves like water. The room gasps, genuinely gasps. 6 months, I say quietly into the microphone. Every stitch done by hand. I thought maybe you'd want to wear it for your second dress change tonight, baby. I know you already have something planned, but I just thought, stop. The word cuts through the room like a knife. Cynthia stands. Her chair scrapes against the floor. Just stop, Mom. Sweetheart, No. She walks toward me, heels clicking against the marble floor. You want to know what I think? What I really think? The room has gone completely silent. Even the string quartet has stopped playing. Cynthia, Troy half rises from his seat. She ignores him. She's standing right in front of me now, close enough that I can see the wine stain on her lips, the way her pupils are dilated. She's been drinking. You want everyone to see this dress, she says, her voice rising. You want everyone to talk about how talented you are, how dedicated, how you spent 6 months making this gift for me. That's not, but let's tell the truth, shall we? She grabs the microphone from my hand. Let's talk about Bernice Hall, fashion icon, self-made woman, dedicated mother. She laughs. It's not a nice sound. You want to know what my childhood was like? My father worked himself to death, literally to death, building a business to keep you comfortable. And you took his money, his connections, his sacrifice, and you built your little empire. You played dress-up while he died at his desk trying to keep up with your expenses. Cynthia, that's not fair. Fair? Her voice cracks. You want to talk about fair? He wanted to retire, Mom. He wanted to spend time with us. But you always needed one more season, one more collection, one more magazine cover. The room is frozen. I can see Patricia standing now, her hand over her mouth. Troy's mother, Judge Whitmore, has gone pale. Felix is standing by the sound booth, paralyzed. And now you parade around with this dress. Cynthia's hands are shaking. This perfect, beautiful, selfless gesture. You want everyone to see how much you love me, how much you sacrifice. She reaches out and takes the dress from my hands. I'm too shocked to resist. "Well, I don't want your performance, Mother." And then she tears it. The sound, God, the sound, is like something breaking inside my chest. The lace rips, the pearls scatter, bouncing across the marble floor like tiny white tears. The silk shreds in her hands, and she keeps pulling, keeps destroying, until 6 months of work is nothing but ribbons and ruin. "I don't need a dress from a woman who lived off her husband's money and pretended it was love," she hisses. "Stop performing." She throws the shredded fabric at my feet. I stand there. I don't cry. I don't speak. I don't move. The silence that follows is absolute. Someone drops a glass. It shatters. No one bends to clean it up. The string quartet starts playing again, hesitant, confused, like they think maybe this was planned. Maybe this is part of the show. But it's not a show. This is my daughter telling me, in front of 200 people, that I'm a fraud, a leech, a performer. And maybe she's right. I bend down slowly and pick up a single piece of lace. It's the section I embroidered with her initials, hidden inside the hem where only she would ever see it. The thread is still perfect, even torn. I straighten up, turn, and walk off the stage. My heels echo against the marble. No one stops me. No one speaks. I walk through the reception hall, past the roses and the candles and the carefully curated beauty, and I keep walking until I'm in the back corridor, until I'm in the prep room the venue gave me, until I can lock the door behind me. Only then do I sit down. Only then do I let myself look at what I'm holding. My bag, the envelope inside it, the envelope I almost signed, the envelope that would have given her everything. I set it on the vanity and stare at my reflection. The woman looking back isn't crying. She's just empty. And somewhere in that emptiness, something shifts, something cold and clear and final. She tore the dress because she thought I'd never fight back. That was her first mistake. Her second was thinking I had already signed. I pick up my phone. My hands are steady. The message I type is simple. "Patricia, I need you. Palmer House Hotel, room 412. Don't ask questions. Just come." Then I open the envelope and start reading every single line, the way I should have months ago. Tomorrow is the brunch. Tomorrow she expects me to stay quiet. Tomorrow, everything changes. I don't sleep. The Palmer House hotel room is too quiet, too perfect, with its pressed sheets and complimentary chocolates on the pillow like some kind of consolation prize. The curtains are heavy enough to block out the city lights, but I leave them open anyway. I need to see Chicago out there, still moving, still living. Proof that the world didn't actually stop when my daughter tore my heart in half. Patricia doesn't come. I told her not to, even though I sent that text. By the time she called back 20 minutes later, I'd already changed my mind. "Bernie, let me come over. You shouldn't be alone." "I need to think, Patty." "You need a friend." "Tomorrow. I promise. Just not tonight." She didn't argue. Patricia knows when to push and when to step back. 43 years of friendship teaches you that. So I sit in the hotel armchair, expensive, uncomfortable, with the envelope in my lap. The one I've been carrying around for 3 months like a bomb waiting to go off. I open it for the 3rd time tonight and read every single word. Asset transfer agreement. That's what it says at the top, in the sterile language lawyers use to make life-changing decisions sound boring. The Lakeview penthouse. Purchased in 1998, the year after Thomas died. The year I needed somewhere new to live, somewhere that didn't smell like his aftershave and broken promises. Current value, $2.7 million. My 47% stake in Laura Whitlow Holdings. Built from a sewing machine in a studio apartment to a company with 42 employees and distribution in 6 countries. Current value, $8.2 million. The Whitlow Scholarship Fund for Young Designers. Established in Thomas's name because he always said young people deserved chances we didn't get. Current balance, $1.5 million. Total transfer value, $12.4 million. All of it, ready to sign over to Cynthia Patricia Hall, my daughter, my only child. The woman who, 6 hours ago, called me a fraud in front of everyone I've ever known. I read the signature line at the bottom. Still blank. Thank God it's still blank. My hands aren't shaking. That's the strangest part. I thought they would be. I thought I'd be crying or screaming or calling Cynthia and demanding to know what the hell happened to the little girl who used to sit on my sewing table and hand me pins, who used to say she wanted to be just like Mommy when she grew up. But I'm not doing any of that. I'm just cold, clear, like someone turned the temperature down in my chest and everything froze into something sharp and useful. The clock on the nightstand reads 2:17 a.m. I make myself get up, make myself go to the bathroom, wash my face, change into the hotel robe, self-care, or whatever they call it now. I'm brushing my teeth when I hear it. A sound in the hallway. Footsteps stopping outside my door. Then a soft knock. Barely there, like whoever's on the other side isn't sure they should be. "Mrs. Hall?" A woman's voice. Young, nervous. I freeze, toothbrush in hand, toothpaste foam on my lips. "Mrs. Hall, I know it's late. I'm sorry, but I need to give you something." I rinse my mouth, wipe my face, and walk to the door. My hand hovers over the handle. "Who are you?" Please open the door." Something in her voice, desperation mixed with determination, makes me turn the lock. There's no one there, just an empty hallway and a white envelope on the carpet. I pick it up. It's not sealed. Inside there's a USB drive and a single piece of paper with handwriting I don't recognize. "Mrs. Hall, you deserve to know the truth. A friend, that's it. No name, no explanation." I look both ways down the corridor. Empty. Whoever left this is already gone. I close the door, lock it, and stare at the USB drive like it might explode. It's small, black, generic. The kind you can buy at any electronics store. I should throw it away. I should call hotel security. I should do anything except what I'm about to do. Instead, I get my laptop from my suitcase and sit back down in the uncomfortable chair. The USB has one file on it. A video, dated September 15th, 2025. 3 months ago. My cursor hovers over it for a full minute before I finally click. The video quality isn't great. It's clearly filmed from a phone camera, probably hidden in a bag or propped on a desk. But the audio is crystal clear. The setting is a law office. I can see that much. Modern, expensive, all glass and dark wood. There's a window in the background showing the Chicago skyline, and there, sitting in a leather chair across from a man in a gray suit, is my daughter. "So you want to establish power of attorney over your mother's assets?" The man's voice is careful, professional. The nameplate on his desk reads Roman Pierce, Esquire. Cynthia leans back in her chair. She's wearing the Chanel suit I bought her for her birthday. Her hair is perfect. Her makeup is perfect. She looks like success personified. "Not establish," she says, and her voice is so casual it makes my skin crawl. "Obtain. She's 73, Roman. People that age. They get forgetful. Sign things they shouldn't." I press pause. My heart is hammering now, fast and hard enough that I can feel it in my throat. I press play again. Roman Pierce shifts uncomfortably in his seat. "Miss Hall, what you're describing could be—" "I'm not asking you to forge anything." Cynthia laughs. Actually laughs. "I'm asking you to draft documents that look like standard estate planning. She'll sign anything if I cry hard enough. I've been doing it since I was 12. The room tilts. I grip the armrests of the chair. On screen, Roman looks even more uncomfortable. And if she reads them? She won't. She's sentimental, not careful. Besides, I'll tell her it's just updating the paperwork for tax purposes. She trusts me. There's a pause. I can hear papers rustling. "I need the penthouse transferred by January," Cynthia continues, all business now. "The shares can wait until after the wedding. Don't want her getting suspicious. The scholarship fund," she waves her hand dismissively. "I'll dissolve that. It's dead money anyway." "Why the rush?" Roman asks. Cynthia leans forward, and the camera catches her face perfectly. There's no guilt there, no hesitation, just cold, calculated ambition. "Because Troy's family won't fully accept me until I have real wealth in my name. My mother's money isn't mine, and I'm tired of asking permission to live." The video ends. The screen goes black. I sit there in the darkness of the hotel room, staring at my reflection in the laptop screen. She'll sign anything if I cry hard enough. I've been doing it since I was 12. How many times? How many times over the years did she cry? Did I comfort her? Did I give her what she wanted because I thought I was being a good mother? The college fund I emptied to start her boutique. The car I co-signed for when she was 23. The apartment deposit. the credit card bills, the emergency loans that were never paid back. Every single time, she cried. And every single time, I believed her. I close the laptop slowly. My hands still aren't shaking. I look at the clock, 2:43 a.m. Then I look at the envelope with the transfer documents, and I laugh. It's not a nice sound. It's the laugh of a woman who just realized she's been playing a rigged game for 32 years. Cynthia thought I'd already signed. That's why she felt safe humiliating me tonight. She thought the assets were already in motion, already hers. The dress tearing, the public accusations. It wasn't spontaneous rage. It was calculated. Make Mom look unstable. Make her look like an emotional, irrational old woman. That way, when the transfers go through, no one will question it. They'll just think, well, of course she gave everything to her daughter. She's getting senile. It's better this way. But I didn't sign. And now I never will. I pick up my phone and call Patricia. She answers on the first ring, voice thick with sleep. Bernie, what's wrong? I need you to come to the hotel, now, and bring coffee. It's 3 a.m. I know. Please, Patty. I'll explain everything. Just come. There's a pause, then, give me 20 minutes. Patricia arrives in 23 minutes wearing sweatpants and a North Face jacket, her gray hair pulled into a messy bun, carrying 2 large coffees from the 24-hour Starbucks on Michigan Avenue. She takes one look at my face and sets the coffees down. What happened? I hand her the laptop. She watches the video twice. The first time, her mouth falls open. The second time, she's taking notes on her phone. When it's over, she sets the laptop aside carefully, like it might bite. Bernie. Oh, Bernie. I know. That little... She stops herself, takes a breath. How did you get this? Someone slipped it under my door. Anonymous. Patricia processes this. She's always been the practical one, the problem solver. We need to figure out who sent it. This is evidence of conspiracy to commit fraud. I know what it is. My voice comes out harder than I intend. The question is, what do I do with it? You expose her, obviously. At her wedding? At the brunch tomorrow. Today, whatever. Patricia checks her watch. In about 8 hours, there's going to be a farewell brunch with 80 of your closest friends, family, and business associates. You play this video. You show everyone exactly what she is. I stand up and walk to the window. Chicago spreads out below us, all lights and angles. Somewhere out there, in a hotel suite probably 10 times nicer than this one, my daughter is sleeping next to her new husband, dreaming about the empire she thinks she's stolen from me. If I do this, I say quietly, there's no going back. There's already no going back. She destroyed that option when she tore your dress in front of 200 people. She's still my daughter. Is she? Patricia's voice is gentle now, the way it gets when she's saying something I need to hear, but don't want to. Because the Cynthia I remember, the little girl who used to help you pin patterns, who cried when you got her into that design program at Northwestern. That girl wouldn't do this. This person? She gestures at the laptop. This is someone else. I turn to face her. You think I should do it? I think you need to protect yourself. And I think... She pauses, choosing her words carefully. I think you need to find out who sent this video, because whoever it is, they're trying to help you. And we need to know why. She's right. Of course she's right. Okay, I say. I know someone who can help with that. At 7 a.m., I'm sitting in a corner booth at Lou Mitchell's, the old-school diner on Jackson that's been serving breakfast since before I was born. Across from me is Sarah Mitchell, no relation to the restaurant, she always jokes, a private investigator I've used twice before for background checks on employees. Sarah is 42, former Chicago PD, with short black hair and eyes that don't miss anything. She's also discreet, which is why I called her at 6 a.m. She's examining the USB drive, turning it over in her hands. Whoever made this knew what they were doing, she says. The video quality suggests phone camera, but the audio is too clean. They probably used a voice recorder app with enhancement. Professional, not amateur. Can you find out who filmed it? Maybe. The metadata will tell me when it was created, what device. Give me a few hours. I have less than 3 hours before the brunch. Sarah looks up at me. Then I'll work fast. I slide an envelope across the table. Cash. More than her usual rate. She doesn't count it. Bernie, I heard about what happened last night, at the wedding. Of course she did. In Chicago's fashion and social circles, gossip moves faster than the L train. I'm sorry, she says simply. Don't be. Just find out who sent this. She nods and stands up. I'll call you in 2 hours. She's gone before my eggs arrive. Patricia slides into the booth across from me. She looks exhausted, but her eyes are sharp. You're really going to do this? Would you, if it was your daughter? She doesn't answer right away. Patricia has 3 sons, all grown, all successful, all still calling her every Sunday. Sometimes I hate her for that. Just a little. If one of my boys tried to rob me blind, she finally says. Yeah, I'd burn his world down. I push my eggs around the plate. I'm not hungry. The thing is, I say quietly, she's not entirely wrong. About what? Thomas. The money. All of it. Patricia reaches across the table and grabs my hand. Her grip is surprisingly strong for a 69-year-old woman. Thomas gave you startup capital. That's it. Everything after that. Every collection, every contract, every success. That was you. Don't you dare let her rewrite that history. But there's a kernel of truth in what Cynthia said last night, isn't there? Thomas did work himself to death. He did want to retire. And I did say no, because I had Fashion Week, because I had the Paris launch, because I always had one more thing that was more important than slowing down. And then he died at his desk, and I buried him, and I went back to work 3 weeks later because I didn't know what else to do. Maybe I am a fraud. Maybe this is what I deserve. My phone rings. Sarah Mitchell. It's only been 90 minutes. I found her, she says without preamble. The person who filmed the video. Who? Rebecca Hartley, 28 years old. She was a paralegal at Roman Pierce's office until last week. She quit. The name means nothing to me. Why would a paralegal? Because 6 years ago she was a student at the Art Institute, and she was one of 12 recipients of the Whitlow Scholarship Fund. The world stops. Bernie, you there? I'm here. There's more. Rebecca's application for the scholarship. She wrote about escaping an abusive relationship, using fashion design as therapy. You didn't just give her money. According to her essay, you personally mentored her for 2 years, wrote her recommendation letters, helped her get her first job after graduation. I remember her now, a quiet girl with incredible talent and haunted eyes. I haven't thought about her in years. She saved you because you saved her, Sarah says gently. That's why she sent the video. I close my eyes. All those years I thought I was just running a scholarship program, filing paperwork, handing out checks. I never thought about what it actually meant to the people receiving it. But Rebecca remembered. Sarah, I need her phone number. Already texted it to you. Bernie, what are you going to do? I look at Patricia, who's watching me with those sharp, knowing eyes. I'm going to the brunch, I say. And I'm going to tell the truth. The Sterling Museum Terrace is set up for the farewell brunch like something out of a wedding magazine. White linens, fresh flowers, mimosas and crystal flutes. 80 guests, the VIPs from yesterday, the people Cynthia actually wants to impress. I arrive at 10:45, 15 minutes before it officially starts. Felix Navarro spots me immediately. He's been Troy's family's event planner for years, but he's also been my friend since 1987, back when he was just starting out, and I hired him to coordinate my first real fashion show. He's wearing a perfect navy suit, his silver hair immaculately styled, and the expression on his face tells me he's been dreading this moment. Bernie, he kisses both my cheeks. How are you holding up? I need a favor, Felix. He glances around, then lowers his voice. Anything. I pull the USB drive from my purse. At 12:15 exactly, I need you to play this video on the main screen. Can you do that? Felix takes the drive, turns it over in his hand. He's too smart not to understand what this means. Bernie, are you sure? No, but I'm doing it anyway. He looks at me for a long moment, then nods. 12:15. I've got you. I find my assigned seat, table 7 near the back, with the +1s and distant relatives. Not family, not anymore. Patricia is already there, saving the chair next to her. She squeezes my hand as I sit down. At the head table, Cynthia and Troy are laughing with his parents. Cynthia looks radiant in a cream silk dress, her hair styled in soft waves. She's holding Troy's hand and smiling that perfect smile she spent years perfecting. She hasn't seen me yet, but she will. My phone buzzes. A text from a number I don't recognize. Mrs. Hall, this is Rebecca. I hope the video helps. You changed my life. I couldn't let her destroy yours. Whatever you decide to do, I'm here if you need me. I type back. Thank you doesn't feel like enough, but thank you. The reply comes immediately. You taught me that sometimes the bravest thing we can do is tell the truth. Time to take your own advice. I set my phone down and pick up my water glass. My hand is perfectly steady. Across the terrace, Cynthia finally sees me. Our eyes meet. She smiles, waves slightly, like last night never happened, like she didn't tear my heart out in front of everyone I know, like she thinks she's already won. I don't smile back. I don't wave. I just look at her, this stranger wearing my daughter's face, and wait for the clock to hit 12:15. The brunch unfolds like a performance. Courses arrive on schedule. Fresh fruit and pastries at 11 o'clock. Smoked salmon and bagels at 11:30. Mimosas refilled with clockwork precision. The guests are relaxed now, loose from last night's champagne and this morning's hair of the dog cocktails. They've decided to forget about the incident with the dress. It's easier that way. Weddings are emotional. Mothers and daughters fight. These things happen. Cynthia is working the room like a politician, moving from table to table with Troy at her side. She stops to hug Troy's aunt, laugh at someone's joke, pose for photos. Every movement is calculated. Every smile is perfect. At 11:45, she takes the microphone. Good morning, everyone. Her voice is bright, cheerful, with just a touch of practiced vulnerability. Thank you all so much for being here, for celebrating with us yesterday, and for joining us today. Polite applause. Someone whistles. I know there was an unfortunate moment last night. She pauses, lets her smile falter just slightly. Weddings are emotional. My mother and I have always had a complicated relationship, but I want everyone to know that we're okay. We've moved past it. She looks directly at me. Mom, I love you. The words hang in the air like smoke. Everyone turns to look at me. 80 faces waiting for my reaction, waiting for me to stand up, to smile, to play my part in this performance. Patricia's hand finds mine under the table. She squeezes hard. I don't stand. I don't smile. I just raise my water glass slightly, not quite a toast, not quite an acknowledgement, and take a sip. The moment stretches, becomes awkward. Cynthia's smile tightens, but she recovers. She's good at this. Anyway, she continues, turning back to the crowd, Troy and I are so grateful for all of you, for your love, your support, your presence in our lives. This is just the beginning of our adventure together, and we're so glad you're part of it. More applause. Troy stands and kisses her cheek. His parents beam. She's won, I think. She's rewritten last night into a story she can live with. Mother and daughter had a fight. Daughter is gracious. Daughter moves on. Everyone forgets. Except I'm not forgetting. And in approximately 23 minutes, neither will anyone else. At noon, the main course arrives. Eggs Benedict with hollandaise sauce that probably costs more per plate than I spent on groceries in a week when I was starting out. The conversation level rises. People relaxed, guards down, ready to eat and drink and celebrate before heading home to their normal lives. I can't eat. I push the food around my plate while Patricia makes small talk with the couple next to us. She's keeping up appearances, playing her role. Felix catches my eye from across the terrace. He taps his watch. 15 minutes. My phone is in my lap. I've read Rebecca's text 17 times. You taught me that sometimes the bravest thing we can do is tell the truth. Time to take your own advice. But there are different kinds of bravery, aren't there? There's the bravery of starting a business with nothing. The bravery of staying up for 72 hours straight before a show because you refuse to put out anything less than perfect. The bravery of burying your husband and showing up to work 3 weeks later because you have employees depending on you. Those kinds of bravery I understand. This kind, standing up in front of 80 people and destroying your daughter's life, this is different. You can still walk away, Patricia whispers. No one would blame you. Yes, they would. I'd blame me. At 12:10, dessert arrives. Chocolate mousse with raspberries. Cynthia stands again, champagne glass in hand. One last toast, she says, and her voice has that warm, intimate quality that makes you feel like you're the only person in the room. To new beginnings, to love, to family, chosen and given. She looks at Troy, who gazes at her like she hung the moon. To us, Troy adds, standing beside her. To us, the crowd echoes. Glasses clink, people drink, and I stand up. The movement is small, but in the silence after the toast, it's loud. Heads turn. Patricia inhales sharply. I don't rush. I walk slowly to the podium where the microphone stands, my heels clicking against the terrace stone. Cynthia's smile freezes. Mom, we already did toasts. I have something to share. My voice is calm. Too calm. It won't take long. This really isn't the time. It's exactly the time. I turn to face the crowd. 80 faces, some curious, some uncomfortable, some already reaching for their phones to record whatever's about to happen. I look at Felix, nod once. He nods back and presses a button. The screen behind the podium, the one they used last night for the slideshow of Cynthia and Troy's relationship, flickers to life. For a moment, there's just static. Then the image resolves. A law office, glass and dark wood, Chicago skyline in the background, and Cynthia, sitting across from a man in a gray suit. The audio kicks in, crystal clear. So you want to establish power of attorney over your mother's assets? The terrace goes silent. Not the polite quiet of people listening to a speech, the shocked, breathless silence of people watching a car crash. I don't look at Cynthia. I keep my eyes on the crowd, watching realization dawn on their faces. Not establish, obtain. She's 73, Roman. People that age, they get forgetful. Sign things they shouldn't. Someone gasps. I think it's Troy's mother. I'm not asking you to forge anything. I'm asking you to draft documents that look like standard estate planning. She'll sign anything if I cry hard enough. I've been doing it since I was 12. Troy stands up so fast his chair falls backward. What the hell is this? But the video keeps playing. I need the penthouse transferred by January. The shares can wait until after the wedding. Don't want her getting suspicious. The scholarship fund. I'll dissolve that. It's dead money anyway. Bernie, stop this. It's Judge Whitmore, Troy's mother, her voice sharp with authority. Turn it off right now. I finally look at Cynthia. She's frozen, face drained of color, one hand gripping the table like it's the only thing keeping her upright. Because Troy's family won't fully accept me until I have real wealth in my name. My mother's money isn't mine, and I'm tired of asking permission to live. The video ends. The screen goes black. No one moves. No one speaks. Then Troy turns to Cynthia, and his voice is barely above a whisper. You told me your mother was dying, that she wanted to give you everything while she was still lucid. Troy, you lied to me about all of it. That video is fake, Cynthia says, but her voice cracks. It's deepfake technology. It's dated September 15th, I say calmly. 3 months ago. There's metadata. There's a witness who filmed it. A paralegal who quit rather than participate in your scheme. And there's this. I pull the envelope from my purse, the one I've been carrying for 3 months. These are documents transferring the Lakeview penthouse, 47% of Laura Whitlow Holdings, and control of a $1.5 million scholarship fund. I hold it up so everyone can see. I plan to give her all of it. Today. As a wedding gift. As a gesture of love. The crowd is leaning forward now, every eye on me. I hadn't signed them yet, and now I never will. I tear the envelope in half. The sound is satisfying. Final. The penthouse will be sold. Proceeds go to the Chicago Women's Legal Defense Fund. The company's shares will be redistributed to employees who've been with us for over 10 years, people who built this company with their actual work, not manipulation. I look directly at Cynthia now. The scholarship fund will continue, but it's being renamed. The Bernice and Thomas Hall Fund for Women Rebuilding After Family Betrayal, because it turns out there are a lot of us, and we deserve support. My voice doesn't shake. My hands don't tremble. You wanted my legacy, Cynthia? You just lost it. I set the microphone down and walk off the terrace. Behind me, chaos erupts. I make it to the lobby before Patricia catches up with me. Bernie, wait. I stop, turn. She's crying. I realize with some surprise that I'm not. That was the bravest thing I've ever seen, she says, or the cruelest. She had it coming. Behind us, we can hear shouting. Troy's voice raised in anger. Cynthia's pleading. Chairs scraping. People leaving. "Do you want to stay?" Patricia asks. "See what happens?" "No, I want to go home." But when I say home, I realize I don't mean the penthouse. I mean somewhere smaller, somewhere quieter, somewhere that isn't full of ghosts. "Let's get you out of here," Patricia says, linking her arm through mine. We're almost to the exit when I hear footsteps behind us. "Mrs. Hall?" I turn. It's Judge Patricia Whitmore, Troy's mother. She's a formidable woman, 65, silver-haired, with the kind of presence that comes from 30 years on the bench. I brace myself for anger, for accusations. Instead, she holds out her hand. "I'm sorry," she says simply, "for what my son was about to marry into, and for what you've been going through." I shake her hand, too surprised to speak. "Troy is filing for annulment first thing Monday morning," she continues. "Fraud is excellent grounds, and he'll be seeking a return of any gifts or assets transferred during the engagement period. I'm not looking for revenge. This isn't revenge, Mrs. Hall. This is justice. There's a difference." She pauses. "My husband and I run a foundation that helps elderly people who've been financially exploited by family members. We'd like to talk to you sometime. About your scholarship fund. About collaboration." She hands me a business card and walks away before I can respond. Patricia and I stand there in the lobby, staring at the card. "Well," Patricia finally says, "that was unexpected." All of this is unexpected. We walk outside into the bright Chicago afternoon. It's October, and the air is crisp, the leaves just starting to turn. The city looks the same as it did yesterday, but somehow everything feels different. My phone rings. Sarah Mitchell. "Bernie, the video is already online. Someone at the brunch posted it. It's going viral." "How viral?" 500,000 views in 20 minutes. The hashtag is #KnowYourWorth. I close my eyes. Is that good or bad? Depends on how you feel about being a feminist icon by dinner time. 2 weeks later, the apartment in Hyde Park is smaller than the penthouse. 1 bedroom, old hardwood floors, a kitchen with appliances from the 1990s. The building has character, which is realtor speak for needs updating, but it has good light, and when I sit by the window, I can see a slice of Lake Michigan between the buildings. It's quiet here, no doorman, no marble lobby, no memories of Thomas walking through the door after work, tired but smiling. Just me and the space I'm slowly making my own. Patricia helped me move. We spent 3 days packing up the penthouse, deciding what to keep, what to donate, what to sell. I kept the sewing machine, the one I started with in 1978. I kept my design books and Thomas's watch and a photo album from when Cynthia was small, before everything got complicated. Everything else can go. The sale closed last week. The new owners are a young couple with a baby on the way. They're going to be happy there. That's enough. I'm in the middle of unpacking books when the doorbell rings. I'm not expecting anyone. Patricia is at her grandson's soccer game. Sarah Mitchell already delivered her final report last week. Everything documented, everything legal, everything over. I check the peephole, and my heart stops. Cynthia stands in the hallway, alone. No makeup, hair pulled back in a messy ponytail, wearing jeans and a Northwestern hoodie I bought her 10 years ago. She looks young, scared. Nothing like the polished woman who destroyed me 2 weeks ago. I stand with my hand on the doorknob for a long time. I could not answer. I could pretend I'm not home. I could call Patricia or Sarah or anyone and ask them what to do. Instead, I open the door. "Hi, Mom." Her voice is small. "Cynthia? Can I come in?" Every instinct tells me to say no, to close the door, to protect myself. But I step aside. She walks in slowly, looking around the small apartment like she's never seen anything like it. Maybe she hasn't. She's only ever known the penthouse, the big spaces, the expensive things. "It's nice," she finally says. "Cozy. It's small, but it's mine." She nods. We stand in the living room, 5 feet apart, neither of us knowing what to say. "Troy left me," she finally says. "Obviously. The annulment was granted yesterday. His family won't talk to me. My publicist quit. I've lost 3 brand partnerships. My Instagram followers. Well," she laughs bitterly. Let's just say influencer isn't really my job title anymore. I'm sorry. Are you? The question hangs there. No, I say honestly. Not about the consequences. Those were earned. But I'm sorry that it came to this. That we came to this. Cynthia nods. Tears start sliding down her face and she doesn't wipe them away. I didn't do it for the money. I mean, I did, but that's not why I hated you. Hate is a strong word. It's the right word, though, isn't it? She sits on the floor, right there in the middle of my empty living room, like she doesn't have the strength to stand anymore. Dad died when I was 17. You remember? Of course I remember. But what you don't remember is that I heard you two fighting the week before. He wanted to retire, spend time with us. You said no. You had Fashion Week. You had the Paris launch. You had meetings. I feel something cold settle in my chest. He died at his desk, Mom. At his desk. Working late because you always needed just one more season. And you moved on like nothing happened. Straight back to work within a month. Cynthia, I watched you build an empire on his memory and never once did you stop. You made him into a tragic footnote in your success story. And She's sobbing now, ugly crying, the kind that makes your whole body shake. I wanted to hurt you the way you hurt him, by taking away the thing you loved most, your precious legacy. I sit down on the floor across from her. My knees protest, but I don't care. But I was wrong, she continues. God, I was so wrong. You did love him. You buried yourself in work because it was the only way you knew how to survive losing him. And I became the thing I hated most. A manipulator, a liar, someone who weaponizes tears and love and trust. She looks at me, really looks at me for the first time in years. I don't deserve forgiveness. I don't even deserve to be in this room. But I needed you to know, I'm sorry, not because I got caught, because I finally understand what I destroyed. The silence that follows is long, heavy. I think about that week before Thomas died, the fights, the tension, his pleading eyes, and my stubborn refusal to slow down. I think about coming home from Fashion Week to find him cold at his desk, and how I'd screamed and screamed until Patricia came and held me while I shattered. I think about going back to work 3 weeks later because work was all I had left. Because if I stopped, I would have to feel everything. And I wasn't ready. Maybe I'm still not ready. You're right, I finally say. I buried myself in work after your father died. Because if I stopped, I would have drowned. I wasn't running from you. I was running from grief. Cynthia looks up, surprised. But you're also right that I wasn't there for you the way you needed. I thought providing for you was love. I thought building a future for you was enough. I was wrong about that too. I reach out, but I don't touch her. Not yet. I failed you as a mother. But you didn't just fail me, Cynthia. You tried to erase me. You calculated. You planned. You laughed about how easy it would be to manipulate me. I know. I can't forgive that. Not now. Maybe not ever. She nods, tears still streaming. But I can tell you this, I continue. The scholarship fund will remain in your father's name too, the Bernice and Thomas Hall Fund, because he would have wanted young people to have chances we didn't. That's who he was, and that's who I'm trying to be. I stand up slowly, my knees aching. Go rebuild your life. Do it honestly this time. Get therapy. Figure out who you are when you're not performing. And maybe, years from now, we can talk again. But not as mother and daughter. As two women who hurt each other and survived. Cynthia stands too. She pulls something from her pocket. A piece of fabric. I recognize it immediately. The embroidered C from the wedding dress. The piece I stitched into the hem where only she would see it. I kept this, she says. I didn't deserve it then, but I'm working toward deserving it now. She sets it on my counter and walks to the door. At the threshold, she turns back. Thank you for not giving up on me completely, even when I gave you every reason to. You're still my daughter. I just can't be your mother right now. She nods and leaves. I stand in my small apartment looking at the piece of fabric on the counter, and I finally cry. 6 months later, the studio in Pilsen smells like fabric and coffee and possibility. It's small, just one room really, in a building that used to be a factory. But the light is perfect, and the rent is cheap, and when I put out the call for students, 8 women showed up. They're all over 50, all with stories. Margaret, 67, whose son stole her retirement to start a business that failed within 6 months. Linda, 58, whose daughter emptied her savings account for a sure-thing investment that turned out to be a scam. Rosa, 62, whose husband left her for a younger woman and her own sister testified against her in the divorce. And 5 others, each carrying their own betrayals, their own grief. We're making a quilt together. Each square tells a story. Stitched words, embroidered images, pieces of fabric from clothes that meant something. It's chaos and color and raw honesty. It's beautiful. Bernice, can you look at this? Linda holds up her square. She stitched the words, "I am enough," in gold thread over a piece of her wedding dress. It's perfect. You sure? I feel like the lettering is crooked. The crooked parts are what make it real. Leave it. She smiles and goes back to work. My phone buzzes. A text from Rebecca Hartley. Just won my first case as a new attorney. Employment discrimination. We destroyed them. Thank you for everything. I text back. The world needs lawyers like you. Proud doesn't cover it. The door opens. Patricia walks in carrying pastries and coffee for everyone. How's the masterpiece coming? She asks, surveying the quilt spread across the center table. Slowly, perfectly. She hands me a coffee and leans close. There's a reporter outside, from the Tribune. They want to do a feature on the studio. Tell them no. Bernie, this is good press. The scholarship fund applications tripled after you renamed it. People want to hear this story. Then they can hear it from the women making this quilt, not from me. Patricia sighs but doesn't argue. She knows better. I take my coffee to the window and look out at the Chicago afternoon. Pilsen is nothing like Lakeview. It's grittier, more real, full of artists and immigrants, and people trying to build something from nothing. It reminds me of who I used to be, who I'm becoming again. Do you miss it? Patricia asks quietly. The company? The spotlight? I think about the question, really think about it. I miss who I thought Cynthia was, but I don't miss the life I was living. I was performing too, Patty. Performing success, performing having it all figured out. I gesture to the women bent over their work, helping each other, laughing, sometimes crying. This is real. These women? They're my legacy now. Through the window, snow begins to fall, the first of the season. It covers the street in quiet white, makes everything look new. My phone buzzes again, an email this time, from Cynthia. I stare at it for a long moment before opening. Mom, I got a job, receptionist at a law firm in Portland. It's entry level. It's humbling. It's exactly what I need. I'm in therapy twice a week, learning why I do the things I do, learning how to be a person who doesn't manipulate others. I saw the feature in the Tribune about your studio. I know you told them no, but someone wrote about it anyway on a blog. You're still changing lives. That's who you always were. I hope someday you can see me trying to change too. Love, Cynthia. P.S. I kept one piece of the dress you made. The piece with the embroidered C you stitched into the hem. I didn't deserve it then. But I'm working toward deserving it now. I read it 3 times. Then I close my phone and return to my students. Margaret is struggling with a particularly stubborn seam. I sit beside her and guide her hands. Like this. Gentle pressure. Let the fabric tell you what it needs. How did you get so wise? She asks. By making every mistake possible, I say honestly. And surviving them. Outside, the snow falls heavier now. Chicago disappears into white silence. Rosa turns on music, something Latin and joyful. Linda starts dancing while she sews. The others laugh. And I realize something. The dress was torn. The legacy was lost. But I was finally, truly, free. 1 year later, the Bernice and Thomas Hall Fund for Women Rebuilding After Family Betrayal awards its first 20 scholarships. Recipients range from 19 to 73. Each one has a story. Each one deserves a chance. Rebecca Hartley joins the selection committee. Patricia Moore donates $500,000. Judge Patricia Whitmore's foundation partners to provide legal services. And on a quiet Tuesday in March, Bernice Hall receives a package in the mail. Inside is a small garment, a child's dress carefully sewn with embroidered flowers along the hem. The note says, Mom, I made this for my goddaughter. First thing I've sewn since college. It's not perfect, but it's honest. Thank you for teaching me that the only legacy worth leaving is the one that helps others stand. Maybe someday we can sew together again. Love always. Cynthia Bernice holds the little dress up to the light. It's crooked in places. The stitching isn't perfect, but it's real. And maybe, just maybe, that's enough.